I think we're ready.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, what is it? What's it been? A month?
It seems like so long time. I've only been in New Zealand for like a little more than 2 weeks.
What's the rugby team you like?
The Crusaders. Yeah, they won the Super Rugby final.
How do you know?
They had the most points at the end.
Somebody just told you they won.
Richie. Go Richie Moanga. He's the best.
Somebody just told you they won.
It is a lot easier to follow it when there's a whole crowd like jumping up and down when something good happens.
All right, here we go. Welcome back. Once again. We've taken a hiatus. This is Seattle's #1 comic book podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic. It's episode 109, the long-awaited 109. I'm Larry.
I'm James. Larry, I almost think I wouldn't change the name of the podcast, but I'm representing New Zealand now. So I think we're Seattle and New Zealand's #1 comic book podcast.
I'm changing the show. We're getting new business cards. The Poocast International.
Although I still wear that shirt. The shirt you made.
Oh,
it's
right
such
on.
a nice shirt. Yeah. Represent Seattle.
And James, so James and I are talking about James's new digs in are you down under? Is down under considered New Zealand? Or is that
I think it's Australia, but I think it's the whole southern hemisphere. Cuz like there's like a rugby league that's all southern hemisphere teams, so it's like South Africa and Argentina and Australia and New Zealand. I think maybe one more. But they all kind of represent the southern hemisphere.
All right.
The Southern Cross. I looked up in the sky the other day. I'm like, where'd the Big Dipper go?
Oh, wow. What do the toilets do? Which way does the water flow out the toilet? All right.
Actually, they all have the They all have like the 2-button flush, like the high and low, and it just goes like straight. It's not. It doesn't go in a circle. So I haven't examined that one.
Close enough, but James will, and he'll report on it next week. But so we are international. James is living in New Zealand for a while.
Worldwide
podcasting, and I'm so excited to have you back, James, because I have been reading crazy amounts of comics, but not talking about them on air.
The people need to hear it, Larry.
And
they need our voice.
I feel bad. We've taken off 2, 3, 4 weeks, and we are back, and we're going to talk tonight about Star Trek, Boldly Go.
I've said that same thing. I said boldly gold.
And it's written by Mike Johnson with art by Tony Chastain, and it came out in 2016. IDW did the publishing, and so there's a little bit of a so that's what we're going to talk about.
And it looked like IDW did quite a few different Star Treks, because I almost chose the wrong one.
I want to get into that because I have well, obviously we both have our thoughts and on Boldly Go, but before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about what I've been reading.
All right, should we do some recent and decents?
Recent.
We might have to go to not so recent to catch all your decents.
That's so true. Recent and decent. And this has been an ongoing, just absolute fun fest, written by Tom Keene with art by lots and lots. And there's too many to list here, but I have a few. But it's issues 43 through 50, and 50 was written about in the New York Times. It's Batman.
Oh, okay.
So is this the lead up?
Batman, just regular Batman?
This is Batman, Rebirth Batman.
Rebirth, all right.
Written by Tom King, and this is the lead up to the wedding of the century, of the it's the most amazing wedding that's ever going to be. And I won't spoil it, because the New York Times already did. But issue 50 of Batman was, in my opinion, incredible. So it's getting mixed reviews, but I absolutely loved it.
What did the New York Times say? Did they like it?
They did like it. But they spoiled it. They spoiled it. So, which was wrong. But some of the artists.
Does Alfred speak up and object to the wedding?
Oh, dude, it's so cute.
I object.
Alfred is a witness, and there's a hug. There's a hug. Bruce and Alfred hug, and so Batman has asked Selena Kyle, Catwoman, to be his wife, and that happened way back in like issue 43, I think. And then there were about like 4 or 5.
They gotta plan the wedding, they gotta choose the flowers, There
were 4 or 5 amazing story arcs, 1s and 2s story arcs, leading up to this issue 50.
They gotta decide the guest list.
One of them.
Who's gonna sit at what table?
Oh my God. You are just, you are so on the money. One of them was a Joker. One of them was a Joker where Joker wants to be the best man. And it's nuts. And he goes to, and I don't know if he's just like, this is insanity, but he is trigger happy at a wedding, like a beforehand wedding. And like, it's sinister. It is absolute sinister. I won't go into all the details there. There's also a Booster Gold story, and if you don't know who Booster Gold is, that's I don't know who he is either. I've read a couple of his like he'll jump in and out, but because he's a time traveler and he wants to give Batman the best gift ever.
He's a time traveler.
And
that seems a little fantasy for our Batman world.
Well, it does. It kind of like jumps out of Batman world once in a while, and he can time travel, and he brings Batman the best gift ever for his wedding, and he should have got him a cheese plate. I'll just say that it was fantastic. Issues 43 through 50, but just keep reading the Batman. It is on point.
All right, good recommendation.
All right, let's get into Star Trek Boldly Go.
Boldly Go. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Have you seen?
What is that from?
Are you kidding? It's from Star Trek, the original.
Yeah, but are they quoting something else? Like, is it like Shakespeare or something like that?
Yikes. Deeper than I would have ever taken it, but maybe. Yeah, Shakespeare. No, sure. I don't think it's Shakespeare.
Probably.
It's the internet. We could say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Are you a big Star Trek fan, Larry?
The original, I don't know if I was a fan, but I've seen every episode with my mom, probably 5 times each.
Okay, I think that counts.
And I've seen all these new movies. And I've seen the old movies, too. But I don't want to say I'm a Trekkie. Okay. I do not want to say that I don't want to go there.
Okay. Because I have somewhat limited Star Trek exposure. I have seen a few of the newer movies, a few of the older movies, and maybe like an episode or 2 of different generations.
Well, okay, that's where I depart, because I never ever went New Generation, Deep Star 6, whatever all those other things were. I never went that direction. So I am Star Trek, this cast, Star Trek, the old cast. So I'm these new movies and the older movies, but none of the different Captain Kirks.
Okay.
So I don't know who Patrick Stewart is.
Yeah, and like I saw in the news recently that they're doing a reboot and Patrick Stewart's back.
Okay.
But it was just like a headline in the news.
Now,
I don't know. I know so little.
I know so little too, and I heard this, and this might be a troll, that Quentin Tarantino is directing a new Star Trek movie. Okay,
that would be great, because I've never been disappointed by him.
Yeah, I think that'd be nuts. foul language.
And he
in
likes to
space.
go deep with his references and really he likes to appeal to the deep fan.
Yeah, so I think that would be pretty awesome. But again, I don't know if there's any truth behind that. I would love it to be true.
So I didn't even really I didn't know which Star Trek this was going to be.
Okay.
And it almost seems like it's more than one. Like, as I read through it, I'm like, wait, these are characters from, like, everything. Not everything, but, like, there's a lot of characters in here that, I don't know, like, it's almost like they're combined.
Oh, I get that.
I don't know if I just don't know what this Star Trek, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll let
so
you...
I guess we'll go through the characters as we go and kind of, like, see what we know.
Well,
and see how well this comic introduces stuff for people who don't know about Star Trek, and see how much of it is like a get people excited who are familiar with it.
I was going to just say exactly that. Like, I don't know if... I hope our show is all about finding your next favorite comic, but I don't know if this is the best jumping on place unless you saw the last Star Trek movie, because this particular book, Star Trek Boldly Go, takes place after the events of the last movie. Did you see the last movie?
Okay. No, but I saw the movie before that.
Okay, so this one takes place... So, James will do the setup, but I'll tell you right now, everybody's been scattered throughout space. Everybody, like, they lost one of their big ships. They lost the Enterprise, and now they're all reassigned, basically. Spock has gone back home, and he's taken Uhura with him because they're dating now. I think Scotty is, the Doctor James is
James Kirk.
No, I guess it's James Kirk. Who's the Doctor? Dang.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Anyhow,
I guess we'll get to it.
He's on another
pretty
ship.
Much what this comic does is it kind of introduces where each of the characters is, and then kind of brings them together. The summary from Amazon, from Comixology, is usually pretty good, but this is it's pretty sparse. It just says, all new Star Trek series following the adventures of Captain Kirk and the iconic crew. New worlds, new species, new ships, and new danger unlike anything the Federation has encountered before. Boldly go into a new era of Star Trek. So a new era, I guess.
Right. Fun stuff.
So
it's
I
all
guess,
set up.
Yeah, it's all set up and like introduction of characters. But I don't know how well it really introduces the characters, and it seems more like it's like there's almost like a scene in a movie where like actually it's like almost a sitcom scene where the character comes through the door and everyone like applauds real big.
Yeah, you could almost see that like that. There's James Kirk. Laugh track.
Yeah, there's a lot of those scenes. So it starts off and, well, I don't know the names that well, and they're not mentioned that often. Like, so I almost want to start with the art of the faces, because they look like the real people, but they're definitely on the computer touched up side of things.
Yeah, I was just I'm looking at Captain Kirk here, and he looks like he's got a stick up his butt. He looks like he's just drawn from a doll or something.
Yeah, but like you can tell he looks like the actor who plays him.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's not like they tried to make him a new looking character. So you're supposed to, I guess, know who he is right off the bat.
Right. Yeah, and I think this book relies a lot on your knowledge of Star Trek. You should have seen the last movie. You should know who these characters are already, and everybody else in this particular setup scene of meeting Captain Kirk, they're the classic red shirts. You know. Yeah,
but they are all called out by name. So it's like this first page, he's like, Commander Vallis, what's our status? Lieutenant Mercia, keep your ears open. Lieutenant Darwin, good to see a familiar face. So, like, it's a very quick way to like